Hello, my name is Sydney, and recently I've been kind of dividing my videos into 2 to 3 parters, one being general tips on the application cycle, 2/3, kind of my own personal account told more casually. So welcome to the personal vid that no one asked for. First and foremost, this video is all in fun. I mean, I didn't have fun spending this money, but as scary as it may feel to close your eyes and swipe a card, or I guess in this day and age, input that card number. High school lesson learned, never say your credit card number over the phone. We all have to go through this process. What's helped me stay calm is seeing this as an investment in my future. I thought it'd be interesting, since I'm weird like that, to calculate how much I spent from this whole application process. This isn't a weird way to flex since it's sad that I spent this money, but I really hope that this provides some insight for you guys who are about to embark on this very expensive vacation that does not provide any postcards to send. Okay, let's start. For being pre-med, specifically the undergrad time of it,
going to college is expensive.
The experiences you gain during this time, like research, volunteering, leadership, are really hard to quantify monetarily.
So are loans.
Let's just say this time cost me a couple eye bags, some frown lines, and probably -3 years of my life. Just kidding. This dang test, I've already mentioned this in a lot of my videos, but it took me multiple attempts to get this right. In total, I tried 3 times. Even though I qualified for the fee assistance waiver that reduced the costs, I made it harder on myself by having multiple retakes. It's okay, everything worked out.
It's an investment. You're fine.
For a reduced fee, it cost $135 to register, but I applied 3 times, so my cost was $405. I also changed my exam date once because I wanted to act in a play, so that was an additional $40. I also bought a prep course my first go at the MCAT, and just as a mini disclaimer, I did grow up modestly with limited to no vacations and not a lot of material items. Well, one thing my mom was never shy about was investing in education, which I am so thankful for. I thought the prep course was what I needed to succeed, but in retrospect, I really wish I did not buy one. For MCAT study material, I'm going to break this up in little sections. Content book wise, my prep course gave me their brand of content books since it was already included in the cost of the course. I abandoned those books after the first attempt at the MCAT since I didn't really mesh well with that interface. Another thing I also want to bring up is my older brother actually was pre-med, so a lot of what I used was hand-me-downs. I used his exam crackers content books, which I'll calculate as a 0 since I did not spend anything, for practice questions. I was very lucky to be provided the sample bank, the CARS volume pack, and the official online questions. For other practice questions, my brother also bought Exam Crackers 101 passages, so I definitely had a plethora of passages to work with. There are also a lot of free resources online. Khan Academy, specifically the Psych and Soc 300-page document, and this was free in the sense of it was more so just reaching out to my friend network and asking what people recommended and what they already had. In terms of practice exams, a lot of these exams, if you purchase them, were only good for a year or 6 months, which was a big bummer because once that time passed, I had to become really resourceful and creative with how to regain access, or I just had to bite the bullet and buy some things again. Specifically for the Princeton Review tests 1 through 4, it was included in my course, so I already paid for those. The Princeton Review Test 1, if you just registered your email, you had access to that test free. Next Steps Test 2 through 10, my brother already bought, but once those expired, I actually had to buy it again since I really enjoyed Next Steps and wanted to use it for my later attempts at the MCAT. But this time, I only bought Next Steps Test 2 through 6. Some things I did to mitigate those costs. I reached out to other people also studying to split that. Ended up only spending $40. The AAMC Practice Tests 1 and 2 were free with the FAP benefits. The AAMC Unscored Sample Test was from my brother's FAP benefits. The AAMC Practice Test 3, I bought it for $35. My second attempt at the MCAT, or my last attempt, a friend lent me his account to take one of his trials. So in total, registering and studying for the MCAT, because of that dang prep course, I spent $2,604. Ow. For the AMCAS, or primary applications, just as some background, the fee assistance program covered the cost to apply to 20 schools. I applied to an additional 14, which in total was $560. In my experience, 11 schools required CASPer. In total, I would have spent $120, but the fee assistance program luckily waived that. Every school's price is different. I saw that most schools price their secondary application at $100. This is where fee assistance program I felt like was the biggest homie. Almost all secondary application fees were waived. From my experience, only 2 schools did not take the waiver. In total, I spent $150 for secondaries. As for interviews, from what happened to me, 2 places I had to take an airplane. The other 2 I could just drive to. And I actually went through my credit card statement. Let's just go all the way in the beginning. What did I wear?
What are you wearing, Jake from State Farm?
Khakis.
She sounds hideous.
Well, she's a guy, so.
I don't know about you, but I didn't really have like a power pantsuit yet, so I had to buy that. I wanted to share a little story about this since I think it's kind of funny. My mom was helping me out in the dressing room, but she kind of went off to look for a size, and I was just like peeping my head out. The person who roomed me was just giving me a lot of helpful tips, advice. He was just so nice. Every time I'd walk out, he'd be like, "Ooh, yeah, girl, yes, okay." And not gonna lie, I think he accidentally saw my butt when he was looking for a tag for this style of pant in a non-weird way, since I don't think he enjoyed it either. When he did ring us up at the cashier, he actually gave me a $150 discount as a little good luck token. I didn't know, I guess they were understaffed that day, but he was also the manager for shoes. I am so mad. I looked on the site just to see how much they cost now. You know, out of curiosity, I paid $75 for my shoes, which are now on sale for $30. Let's just take a moment, but it's okay. I needed them anyways. For my bag, I spent $35. If you're on the hunt for somewhere that's affordable but looks professional, I definitely recommend Ross or Marshall's. If you don't give those places a chance, you're definitely sleeping on something. And it's not a Tempur-Pedic, let me tell you that. Moving along, as for flights, I sprouted some wings. No, I flew to Florida and Michigan. For Florida, I ended up spending $306, and for Michigan, $438. For Airbnbs, which I only had to do once, I spent $112 for 3 days and 2 nights, which stunk because I didn't really get to be there for the first day, but better safe than sorry. As for gas, the interviews that I could drive to, I guesstimated on like what a full tank of gas there and back to this location would be, but I also visited some friends, so I'm just gonna guesstimate that that was $60. In terms of Ubers and Lyfts, which I heavily used in Michigan since I didn't know anyone there, I looked at all my transactions, that totaled to $40. As for parking for one of my local interviews, I spent $25, and I included social outings here too, because had I not been there for the interview, I wouldn't have done said social outings. For Florida, food, $45, and entertainment, aka watching the Joker, was $15. Michigan, food totaled $64. For LA, since I'm baby and I saw a lot of friends and they were just so nice and they treated me out, I ended up only spending $20 on eating out. Total for interview travel and all the costs associated with that was $1,435. This last set of costs is definitely optional. I didn't really think twice in the midst of making these purchases, especially if I was appreciative for someone housing me or someone writing me a letter. I wanted to show that by just any small token. But actually looking at my transaction statement, since I was already in there, for gifts for my letter writers and shipping, since some were from my local area, I didn't realize, but I ended up spending $90. And as for the friends who hosted me, one of them, he's Asian, as am I, but he's a little bit homesick because of the place his school was. There weren't a lot of like Asian grocery markets. I went a little crazy in making him a care package. For my other friend, I also just put together a little goodie bag to show that I was thankful for letting me bother him. In total, for thank you gifts, I spent $155, and I definitely did not mind at all. So the moment that you've been waiting for, unless you do quick math, for my pre-med experience of studying for the MCAT, applying to schools, and interviews, I ended up spending $4,952, which hurts, but given my circumstances and what I was very fortunate to have help on, is not the worst. Like I mentioned earlier, this truly is an investment, and honestly this is just the tip of how expensive the iceberg will start to weigh. So yeah. Is this a weird video to make? I don't know. But I hope that you're doing well. Just kidding. I hope that you found entertainment or insight to this process. If you're in the middle of getting your application compiled and put together, I am wishing you the best of luck. You got this. Don't psych yourself out. I am so pumped for you. I really have been appreciating you guys reaching out to me, telling me what part of the cycle you're on, or just any advice that I can give. I don't know everything, but it means a lot that you guys trust me to go to me. If you do have any other questions and don't want to leave a comment, my Instagram DMs are always open to slide in. Just don't be weird, please. Please, just don't be weird. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. All right. Bye.